I think maybe.
Let's go, Hillary!
Audience, you got light on you. See how that feels to you.
Oh, that's too bright.
Let's go, Joe! Let's go, Joe!
Yes.
The introduction.
Absolutely.
And words! And words! And words! And words!
Then you're going to light up the whole place, so that will diminish the
And this will
power
be at like 70% or 60%.
Right.
It's not
and
going
then
to be full.
and then we'll see everybody.
Correct.
Very important to see everybody.
Yes.
I'd like to introduce you to Mike Gravel.
When we found out that I was being cut out of this debate, we contacted the Democratic National Committee asking them if the Democratic National Committee, which has sanctioned me as a legitimate candidate, would do anything about the fact that I was being cut out by a private company. They said, well, it's the company.
What do you think about excluding Mike Gravel from the debate tonight?
That decision was made by NBC.
But you do endorse the debate?
We supported that decision.
The leadership of our party isn't even prepared to stand up for free speech or stand up against corporate censorship.
Who am I here for?
What's your sign say?
I got money games. This is just a money game.
Have you heard about Mike Gravel being barred from this debate?
Yeah, I did. That's all up because they supposedly took him off because he didn't have enough money.
Let's plug up the debate and see how that's going, because I'm going to now get in debate. I generally get 4 minutes. Tonight I'm going to do a little better than that.
NBC News special presentation.
Philadelphia, the cradle of American democracy, where the founding fathers gathered to declare our nation's independence and to ring out that news on the Liberty Bell. Still proudly displayed here.
Very patriotic.
Philadelphia is also...
That's how you begin to brainwash the people in this country.
A lot of us on this stage have learned our lessons the hard way. That you give this president an inch, and he will take a mile. And this is about such an important...
Mute that for a second. When they talk about learning their lessons, they didn't spill any blood. They didn't do any suffering. You want to learn what the lessons are? It's these bodies that come back in caskets, these bodies that come back with limbs missing. That's where the lesson is learned. And so when you get people at this level of government who don't even think in those terms of human life and the morality that's involved in respect for human life, it really says something. I could describe it in many ways, but let me tell you, the easy way is politics as usual, regardless of who it comes from. Roll it.
I am not in favor of this rush for war, but I'm also not in favor of doing nothing. Iran is seeking nuclear weapons, and the Iranian Revolutionary Guard is in the forefront of that, as they are.
Mute that right there. Iran, first off, they have no proof of that. This is the drumbeat to war. Who do you think Iran threatens? Doesn't threaten anybody. They got a president who has very little power and who shoots his mouth off every so often. Big deal. Our president shoots his mouth off all the time. You know, where's the fear? Where's the thinking, the rationality of these potential leaders of the President of the United States to understand these dimensions that they're talking about, other than mouthing platitudes? You know, when Brian Williams asked me the first time out, well, Gravel, you know, you said once you didn't care to be president. Well, I didn't. I said that. That's true. But the more I look at them, the more I want to be president. The more I want to be president. They scare me to death.
Well, first of all, I think electability is a very critical issue. Look, at the end of this process here, we need to have a Democrat in the White House come January 20th, 2009. That is essential, in my view, to get this country back on its feet again, to restore...
That's very important. What he's talking about, and this is where you have most of the people out there right now on the Democratic Party, we got to win. We don't care any mad dog you can give us, we got to win. We got to have the power. What that is, that's code for power over substance. And that is the great tragedy of politics as usual. It's got to get that power, and then we won't worry about the substance. So it's not a win-win, it's a lose-lose. Now, you've heard them all speak once. Do you think it might have dawned on any one of them to say that I'm missing? Maybe they're happy to not have me there. But do you think it would have dawned on him and say, hey, there's censorship going on here? Had I been up there, I'll tell you, they cut anybody out, I'd have started out immediately. Where's that person? He's entitled to speak too. But not one of them did it. What does that tell you? What does that tell you in their mind that they don't have a real foundation about the problems with corporate censorship in our society, that they don't have a real personal foundation of free speech? Person becomes president of the United States and you're not too much on free speech, what does it mean? You're really into secrecy, and that's one of the great problems that we have in our society today.
Microville tells the truth.
He's got a lot of good things to say. He says we can get off of gasoline in 5 years and carbon in 10.
Despite his age, he's the youngest candidate there.
He's been my favorite candidate to watch.
This man deserves the respect of this country.
This guy's the real deal. Does that answer your question?